I don't know what's going on with the cows today, but I have to deal with them. Anyway, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Life with Shabomwe. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with Uganda Airlines. I did drop a 5-minute video on the flight and all that, but I didn't really get into the details, so I'm going to be telling you guys about my experience on the airline. Okay, I've attached the video of the flight and everything. I did a little video. I was flying to Nairobi, of course. I flew economy. Okay, if you really want to get the experience of an airline, okay, you want to see how ghetto an airline is, fly economy, because usually the ghetto is there. Okay, now personally, when I first heard of the airline, I was like, okay, nice, finally. But then there's been too much talk around the airline. Of course, as a brand, it has had its drama. It continues to have its own drama going on, but that's not the point of the video. I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not a politician. Okay, I just want to talk about my experience and educate you on the airline, and just dismiss a lot of misinformation, okay, that's been out there about the airline. Okay, because personally, before I booked the flight, I was actually skeptical because of what I had prior to that. People are saying, oh, Uganda Airlines actually hoots like a car, blah 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 blah. There was too much negativity, and for any Ugandan that's watching this, can we stop being too negative and too angry? Yes, since I've moved back home, I've realized Ugandans naturally, we are angry people. I don't know what's up with that, but we choose to see the negative in everything. Okay, now when this airline started, I believe this is something we should have celebrated, because in East Africa we are the only ones that didn't have an airline. But the way Ugandans we received it, our mentality totally needs to change. This is something we should be proud of as people. Uganda Airlines, the fact that we have our own airline as a nation, this is something we should be celebrating, proud of. It's part of our legacy as a country. It is something nice. So yes, could it have its negatives? Absolutely. But I'm going to be telling you about my personal experience and how I really experienced. Yes, okay, so I'm going to be telling you about my personal experience with the airline, okay, so that you can get to dismiss all the negative things that have been said and are continuing to be said about the airline. Okay, so first things first, of course, the check-in, the flight was right on time. Okay, because initially I had people talk about Uganda Airlines is never on time. My flights were on time. Okay, my flights were on time. Even booking the flight was very easy. They had a WhatsApp option. The options are limitless. Even when it comes to payment, you have different options of paying. Okay, then of course, first things first, for those of you who are interested in flying or traveling around East Africa and you're an East African, you can now travel with your ID. You don't need the passport. Just putting that out there, because personally, this is something I didn't know. My passport expires next year, but they apparently they changed everything. You need to have the East African passport. Okay, so you can still travel with your ID in East Africa. Okay, another thing, there was a lot of talk on people hawk things on the airline and all that thing. I don't remember anything like that. It didn't happen. The only issue was during checking in the luggage. Okay, there was a little bit of disorganization, and of course, you know, in Uganda there are those things of you know, I don't want to say that because Uganda Airlines might watch this video, but you know what I'm talking about if you're Ugandan. Okay, people who get those privileges that you have to pay kitu kidogo. So that was the issue. Okay, but other than that, the check-in was smooth. Okay, and yeah, the check-in was smooth. Immigration was very smooth. If you have your paperwork in order, everything is going to go great for you, especially the initial stages. Okay, all right, let's talk about baggage allowance. My ticket, hopefully I'll get, no, that's revealing my information, so I can't attach my ticket, okay? But when it came to baggage allowance, I was allowed 2 pieces, okay? They don't specify, they don't specify the kilos. So personally, I carried 2 bags because I really wanted to know, is this thing that real, okay? I wanted to test the system, okay? Don't mind the cows. I live next to a beautiful farm of cows, so that happens, okay? So I carried 2 pieces, and 1 piece had 23 kilos, another piece had 15 kilos, and my baggage was not lost, okay? Yes, there's nothing like, oh, your luggage got lost. I had a lot of horror stories. People just want to attach everything Ugandan in a negative way, especially by us Ugandans. So I was very curious. As I've said, personally, even booking that flight, I was very cautious. I'm like, you know, because there's just been too much hate and negativity towards the airline, okay? And sadly, this negativity comes from people who can't even afford the air ticket. That's the problem, okay? But personally, I just want to put it out there in case there's someone who has bought into the negativity towards Ugandan Airlines, okay? It's a great airline. I would compare it to, for those of you who fly from the Middle East a lot to Dubai, I would compare Uganda Airlines to Fly Dubai, the aircraft, that is. The setting, yes, I would compare it to Fly Dubai. The size, because I've flown Fly Dubai, okay, but I flew business class. So even their business class looked like same, okay? Of course, the Uganda Airlines looked more new, more polished, but it's kind of like the same plane with Fly Dubai, the same size, the same seating. The legroom, of course, with economy, it's economy. Legroom is going to be the same. Although I did feel like their legroom was a bit smaller on the airline. For Uganda Airlines, I felt like their legroom for economy was a bit smaller, which is fine. It's a nice flight. The hostesses were very nice, very polite. The food was good. On the return flight, one thing I was impressed about, they served Rolex. I'm like, thank you for serving something so Ugandan on the flight. So I appreciated that. They didn't over try to bourgeoisize the thing. They didn't over try amasape manji. I like it when it's a simple, nice airline. That is Uganda Airlines. It's a great airline. It's just started. Let's stop putting the negativity towards it. Already it as a company, as an institution, it is facing its own hassles. So we, the people, can't continue to tear down something that we should be proud of, something that we should be celebrating, okay? This is our airline. We need to speak. Yes, so this is our airline. I believe we need to be more appreciative, okay? We can't keep focusing on the negatives, we as the people need to change our mentality. As I've said, it was a return return flight to Nairobi and back. I spent a night in Nairobi. As I've said, I'm going to attach the video, or the video is attached, okay? Anyway, as I said, Uganda Airlines is a great airline. It's just started. We should be proud of it. We should be more accepting, okay? We always like to say, because it's Ugandan, it cannot be good. Because it's Ugandan, it cannot be good. I experienced this as well as an entrepreneur with my perfume, okay? People saying, because the person making the perfume is Ugandan, it can't be that good. And until we Ugandans get rid of that backward mentality, we are going to continue to cripple ourselves and cripple our nation. Because it's the mentality, it's the mindset that has a problem. As I've said, personally, I've traveled, I've flown a lot. I don't like to fly personally, but I compared it to Fly Dubai, okay? Because that's the vibe I got. The only difference is the legroom was a bit tight, okay? For the economy class, because I flew economy. And personally, if you've noticed in the video I did for the 5 minutes, you will notice I really didn't do too much videoing or video on the plane or things like that, because one, I want to put this out there for the content creators. create content. It is not okay to film people, random strangers, especially when they're in public spaces. Yes, I am a content creator. I'm out there to create content, but I also want to be able to respect people's privacy, okay? Because I'm big on privacy personally. I love privacy. I know what privacy means. So I didn't want to, like, kill someone's vibe. And I flew on a Saturday. Saturdays, people are flying out with their clandes, with their side chicks, side baby mamas. So you don't want to, like, start vita out of the blue, okay? So let's all be conscious content creators. Film, create content, but do not film or video people that don't want to be in your content, or they are not aware of what is going on. It has happened to me, of someone pulling out the camera and recording me. It's the worst thing you can do, okay? So I feel like you're invading someone's privacy. Yes, and privacy is safety. A lot of you need to understand that privacy is one of the best things you can give yourself and give to other people, okay? So one, I flew to Nairobi, flew back. I didn't lose my luggage. The flights were all on time, okay? We got to the gate on time. Everything was on schedule, okay? So shout out to Uganda Airlines for making my flight wonderful and comfortable, and thank you for serving a nice Tusker, okay? I got a few Tuskers on the way back. Was it very cold? Absolutely, but the Tuskers were giving, okay? Asanteni Uganda Airlines for the wonderful flight. So as a Ugandan, okay, I am proud of Uganda Airlines. I'm proud of what we have been able to do as a nation, however small it is, however much Ugandans you're not impressed. Personally, as a Ugandan, I'm happy. So asanteni Uganda Airlines. I hope I can get to do a better video, a better review of the airline in the near future. But for now, my experience was great. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in another video.